6 ground wire, number 8 ground wire. It's got to be number 6 when it comes out from behind the panels. You run that down to your own ground rod. You have to provide your own ground rod for the system, and then you bond that to the existing house ground, whether it's in the panel or outside at the existing ground rod. That way, everything electrical in the house is all bonded together, everything metal. Next one.
Well, with respect to the grounding, you want to have an external ground as well as an internal ground?
You have to have your own ground rod and be
outside of my yard, in case I get hit by lightning. All right, and then I also want to have a ground like cold water pipe in my house.
You just want to bond it to the existing system in your home. So
the electrical
whether
system.
it's in the panel, in your existing electrical panel, you run that number 6 copper to, or if it's just the copper wire that's outside that goes to your existing ground wire or ground rod, you can bond it there too. Whichever is easier for you.
That's code requirements.
Right.
Those two grounds.
Next one. And PPL, there's the website, but you just Google PPL interconnection agreement, customer-owned generation, anything like that, and it'll come up and bring you right to that page. And then you test your system. What we like to do is just check the voltage. Remember, you have a disconnect. So let's say, or the breaker in the panel. You turn the breaker in the panel on. You go out to your disconnect. You check the voltage. Okay, you have 240 volts coming to it. Each individual leg is 120 volts. Then you put your disconnect in. Then you go to your electric meter. Check your electrical meter. Then okay, or your auxiliary production meter is how it's called. You check the voltage there. 120, 120, 240. Then you pop your meter in. Then you can actually come up to your sub panel and see, okay, with my sub panel, if I have multiple strings of panels, multiple runs of panels, then I can check my voltage there, 240 volts, 120, 120. And then if you really want to check each individual one individually, you can come up and test each junction box individually to make sure you're getting the proper voltage coming from the grid, and then tighten everything up, put your meter and all that stuff, and turn your system on. Yeah, just turn it on. After you check all the voltages on all the wires, then turn it off, make your final connections, and then actually turn your breaker on. Once you turn it on, then you can actually do the commissioning part of it. With these, will all have like an internet monitoring to it, unless you say I don't want to spend the $200 or $300 on that. That internet monitoring is going to be nice if you ever want to troubleshoot it later, or just show people on your iPhone how much energy you're saving, or just keep track of it yourself. So that's, but that's separate, and that's just something you can call their tech support, and they'll walk you through it really easily. Next page.
Yeah, technically, what's the rules on testing? You can have it on for an hour or something like that?
Oh, I don't. Last I knew, you weren't supposed to turn it on at all, but we always turn it on just because. Yeah, you're not supposed to technically turn it on until they tell you, the PPL, the utility company tells you you can turn it on. But we test it before the inspector gets there, just to make sure everything's okay. The inspector just looks at everything, and then that way, when we leave, and we get that notification in our email from the utility company that you can turn your system on, we can just call the homeowner and say, remember that breaker in the bottom right of your electrical panel? Turn that on, and your system should be up and running. So that way we're not driving sometimes an hour and a half, 2 hours to the customer's house just to turn the system on for them. And then, so then we do meet with the inspector. He signs the part 2 of that interconnection agreement we showed, and then the cut-in card, which is the next hyperlink on the website, and then he signs off on your permit also, if you had to get a permit, depending on what township you are. And then you send your permit paperwork, or no, he takes care of the permit paperwork, but you send those 2 pieces of paper to the utility company, and you just wait and wait and wait and wait. Again, PPL, sometimes it's 2 days. If it gets more than a week, I would send them an email again, because they have every excuse known to man why they haven't processed your paperwork, or who didn't do what they were supposed to do and lost it all. So, and then they'll actually go ahead and notify you back saying, okay, you can turn your system on, everything's okay, and then you just turn your system on, start saving yourself some money, and then you're a happy camper, right? other questions? We'd like to have everyone come up here and just get around the board a little bit. Yes?
If they don't allow you to connect, how are you supposed to test it? Because it doesn't have the electric going to it to test it.
That's why if you are allowed to turn it on for 1 hour or whatever, then that makes sense. But before, it was just, you weren't supposed to turn it on to make sure everything worked. It was almost like, yes, you can turn it on even though it's been inspected and verify that it works okay, yet you don't quite know it works okay, so.
Well, couldn't you see it in your own meter, not the power companies, not the utility meter, but you have your own monitoring meter there?
Because
But if you can't turn your system on.
there's no
then-
synchronization for the grids, so there's,
Oh,
you can
okay.
overdraw.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so would everyone please come up here, gather around?
Question. Yes. What's your mother's first name?
Cindy. Cynthia.
Oh, that's good. I can meet you.
Oh, where are you?
Science and narrow.
Oh, okay. Yep.
All right. What's your name?
I'm not sure. But I was a science teacher.
Okay.
Had to be something in there between.
Maureen Ross.
Okay.
Maureen has to be somewhere.
Yeah, grandma.
Grandmother.
Yeah.
She has to be.
She's down in Florida.
She didn't come to the last one. She didn't have